Yeah.
Is it possible to turn this around, or has it gone too far?
Well, with God, all things are possible, and I think that but I also think that it's a moment. It's a moment for those of us that really are Christian, and for those churches that are growing, to really speak out clearly into society the truth and the hope that is found in Jesus Christ. The structure.
But who's going to do it? That's my point. I understand both of you have your passion, but who is going to do it?
And that's been part.
Is Archbishop Welby going to do it?
Well, I think that part of the problem is this, that the established church for many decades now has been unclear on the message of the gospel. So what I have when we go into the courtroom at the Christian Legal Centre is we have judges that cannot say what a Christian believes marriage to be, for instance, because the Church of England has not been clear on that, or that the judges might be confused about what the Church of England's position is on transgenderism, because the
Catholic Church is clearer on these things, to be absolutely
fair. That is true,
fair.
but our established church, the established Church of England, has not been clear now for many decades. And I sometimes think that the people are longing for the bishops simply to be bishops, to say what they expect them to be.
I couldn't agree more.
Which is that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life.
Can I say this?
Neil,
Yes.
I'm going to give you the final word in this debate.
Sure.
You know, I think we all agree that there is a lack of courage, there is a lack of moral, spiritual leadership that is coming from the top in our established church, that permeates through the education system, that even actually across the road in Parliament, you know, we don't do God, was what Alistair Campbell very famously said.
I remember that.
All right, whereas in America, they're not ashamed at all to talk about whatever faith they are. Can we turn this around? And if so, who's going to do it?
So I think there's a response from all of us, and that includes you and me. Okay, so let's deal with the fact that there's the Educational Reform Act, 1988, that says it's mandatory for us for prayers in schools to happen. But what's happened? 2/3 of the schools don't pray. And the Church of England has said, hey, we don't want that to happen because we don't, on the one hand, those who lead those prayers are not necessarily Christians. And so they might be leading young people into a pathway plan where they're not actively exercising. And the second thing I'd say is this. What I believe so strongly is, much as there may be a decline in the numbers, there's an increase in Christian service, Christian participation in public life. We're seeing so many food hubs, food banks. We're seeing a response to homelessness. We're seeing a response to modern-day slavery. So there is a call. Yes, Archbishop Welby has a responsibility.
There are active Christians.
There are active Christians, and we need much more of that. And I think that Archbishop Welby, at the moment, is doing what he feels he can do best, but he can do more. The biggest room in all of our lives is the room for improvement. So I would say we need to pray.
I like that.
We need to pray through, we need to work together, and we need to demonstrate that we are a united body of people that aren't at each other's throats, but we are desperately for the heartbeat of our nation.
Well, a bit of Christian optimism, both from Andrea and from Niels. I do hope you're listening, Archbishop Welby. You need to do an awful lot more, believe me. Now, I couldn't resist that dig.